Winter of 1905 here in Lords of Sierra Madre. Remember, President Fall is preparing for war against Mexico to regain at least the counties that he lost. Given that, everybody's really, really uncertain, and both Green and von Ritalin shipped their money to New York, or maybe Berlin. The card that came up was a Bandit Maganistos. Green picked that up for $1 and is probably going to try to get them weapons at some point. But right now, he just wants to have them as insurance because the situation is so fluid and uncertain. He's already been promised that he will command the at least some of the armies of the United States after having made a hero of himself in the Spanish-American War. But there's a lot of fear that the U.S. troops with Fall as president will be just as dangerous as the Mexicans. So kind of the hope may be that the army gets destroyed in both cases. I think the U.S. president, though, can refurbish his troops for free, so doesn't sound good. So Fall declares war, and that causes one piece of fallout right away, which is all the troops. Since Terrazzo had no real right to have those troops, he had just bribed them. State of war causes troops to be reallocated normally. The other one didn't because he had a special card that gave him all the troops, just like the president doesn't face that. So the troops were split 50-50 with the only other non-American, who's not exactly friendly with Terrazzo after the burning of the ranches, etc. That being von Ritalin. He didn't get much. He got the Sonora infantry battalions, which don't exist. He got the Chihuahua police, but he did get one valuable thing, the Chihuahua rurales, which are sitting right here. And, you know, definitely are the added leadership for the section down here. That's going to be a problem, to say the least, for Terrazzo. After an outstanding campaign general now, Bill Green has basically destroyed all of Terrazzo's properties, just burnt them to the ground. And at this point, it's a question of what kind of peace can we get Terrazzo to accept. Actually, it's not up to him. It's because his leaders, his rurales have been wiped off the map. It's actually up to von Ritalin, which is probably going to be pretty easy to come to some sort of agreement. I had been playing with, and I think I'll go with, return of the lost counties and the addition of Juarez. It's an annoying location for the Mexicans to try to defend, and I think overall for the world it's just better to have it in U.S. hands. So yeah, that's indeed the situation. I've given Juarez over to the U.S. The difference in this, the only thing that I didn't mention was that Terrazzo's actually been arrested and thrown in a Yuma jail, which is going to make life really, really hard for him. He can't bid on things. He can't get investors' money. His situation is pretty questionable at this point. So here we are in summer, and we see the situation's not really improving. Economically, as long as Ciudad Juarez is burned, which it still is, no one's getting much money. The situation the land was in after the famine has forced people to just reinvest their crops. A lot of the land, a lot of the properties, well, the ones that were still kind of valuable were in Terrazzo's hands, and those have all been destroyed. All he's sitting on, other than a prison cell, is a couple of railroads and a bunch of troops, a couple of rebel units, but a bunch of troops that don't exist. Anyone who's willing to pay to refurbish them can take them at any time. The president's in a similar situation, though. His Arizona forces, anyone could buy up if they wanted. Now, they're less valuable, but it definitely puts the world in an interesting position right now. Not much that can be done. Unless everybody agreed to chip in some money, and not everybody has some money. In fact, the total money existing, I don't think could afford it. There's Green has like $4 in his bank account, which is making Chowdhury's $3 when he left the game look good. Ritalin has $1 because he's afraid that the U.S. president might try to seize money or something. He can do that. Fall has nothing. He spent it all on the election. He may not be able to win the next election. We'll see. Fall 1905, a bank card comes up. Totally useless. These are usually great investments, especially if somebody can get more than one of them, but there's no money. And the good luck continues. Here we are in the summer of '06. Skip by a couple more good investment cards, including a mine. And we've got flooding. That'll be no tactical rounds, no big deal there. Nobody's doing anything. But Otero County and everything adjacent to it, all C cards in that district and adjacent districts are destroyed. That means Fall's home ranch is gone. He could try to capitalize it, but that's a huge expense. So I forgot the important fact that Fall is president, so capitalizing costs him nothing. He took his money for the summer investment out of the Empire Ranch, even though it's not worth a lot. His feeling is, well, if anything comes up to bid on, he can capitalize it as president. On the other hand, Green reinvested his profits. Nobody else has anything that makes money. In the fall of '06, a spy card comes up. Fall wants to buy that. He needs to protect his position against a possible, there's some big cards that could wipe that out. That could wipe out his holding. The same way Terrazzo was wiped out by an election, although that couldn't be stopped, but maybe other aspects could. So he's going to pay $1 for that. Nobody else has cash. Here we are in the spring of '07. In the winter, the governor of Sonora offered a bounty on all red units that get killed in Sonora. There are 2 units in Sonora right now, over in Baja, which it's going to be tough to get any value off of. But the other ones up here, which these rurales could reach, and the bonus for this is you get a land grant. So that could be kind of cool. It's drawn at random, but it should be neat. The next thing that came up is a really, really cool card, a dam. A dam produces $2 every turn. There aren't a lot of things that give you that good an income. Casinos give 1, I think. It's got a huge capitalization though, 7 plus 2 dice, and you don't find the 2 dice out until later. And it's in Mexico, so the president can't do it. So that's going to get passed too. End of that spring turn, von Ritalin managed to take advantage of the veto. He used his rurales to take out the The banditos actually made them surrender, which is always a cool thing. That raised the leadership value of his rurales up to a 3. And he got a new hacienda, which is La Europa, a slave plantation. And he's back in business down there, huh? So he's kind of in the game as much as anybody now. This is one of the bonuses of the troops, I guess, but still no easy way to do anything. I mean, for $1 you could move an army, so I guess that might be worth it. Somebody's thinking, ooh, that was easier than it looked. And go take out what I believe is his, now Bill Green's Maganistas down there. It might be well worth it. President Fall thought that was a good idea, so he sent the U.S. cavalry in to go buy him a hacienda. And he got von Ritlin's old home. Hey, whatever. A lawsuit card came up and during the summer, and Judge Fall deciding that, well, gee, I'd like to own my neighbor General Green's house. Managed to outbid him on it, and then launched a lawsuit, and Green liquidated resources from his house itself in order to keep possession of it. Kind of a dicky thing to do, and it's not making Fall any friends. Green might just try running against him as president. On the other hand, yeah, that's about it. So we're almost done with 1906. End of fall of 07. Cool card came up, the Culberson Ranch and Smuggling Ring. I almost thought von Ritlin could buy it because he has the rurales who are one of two things. The other thing is the New Mexican Mounties, who may or may not show up in the game, who are allowed to burn the ranch. Well, since he owns the rurales, it seems pretty safe, and it would put something, it would give him property near where he's got some power. On the other hand, in order to capitalize it, it takes 3/4 to capitalize. He would have to drop it. He would have to sell off resources on his own ranch 2 turns in a row. His ranch would then no longer make money, and it would cost $1 to bring it up to any value at all. And he wouldn't have that 3rd turn's money. So obviously it can't happen. Again, money's so tight in this one. Anyway, that's the last card of the year. Now, ooh, I was supposed to make some rolls. Game might be over. I get 3 rolls, 4 rolls in 1907. All at +3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, but we're going into an election year for the U.S. election. Fall will definitely be challenged. It's whether or not Green challenges him or, oh, I don't know who, Wilson, Roosevelt, Taft, I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember who ran in 08. Anyway, those are the options there. And the other thing is, anything that's done at this point, I mean, right now, the winning players, Green sitting with some cash at home, $4. Cowdray with 3, who left the game a while ago. So, and the game could end on any turn. I mean, there's a +3 to that die roll. I would expect it to end within the next couple of years.